Alrighty, it's Friday, TGIF, and unfortunately, we are battling with the our systems again today. But we are up and live, but I cannot get J4X back up on the screen again. So it's giving me that 801 situation, and there's no fighting with it. So I'm going to re-register again. I was trying to re-register now, and wanted to send me into meta stock and so forth, and all I wanted to do was get back into the old J4X program. We'll get there. It's just a matter of time. Yesterday we re-registered and got it to go, and I don't know, today it doesn't want to, it gives me the 801. That's just what it is. Anyhow, let's see who's on the chat line this morning, see if anything's going on. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Just battling along as usual. Yeah, nothing major, same old game, just a different day. Oh, yes, it is a better day. It's Friday. TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday. So that's where we're rolling along with that. You can see the dollar index up on there now. Let me think. What else can we say about the dollar? We said it a couple of days ago. The bonds, they're already. The Federal Reserve is probably out there buying. They're probably out there, and there's talk that quantitative easing is going to step up again, and they're going to stop what they call QT, which is quantitative tightening. So what happens? It means they buy less. They're buying no matter what in the end result. They buy X amount every day. But. What they do is they do it in secret. And so there's a public amount that they're buying, and then there's a private amount that they're buying. So they like to pretend, or what they do is they even have another interesting thing too. What they do is they lend money overnight to certain banks, and then they don't charge them interest. So it's free money, and every day they just keep on lending them that money. And so they tell them, I don't know, maybe we'll collect it up. We'll give you a 2-week warning before we're going to collect it up. So they have all this money sitting in a bank, in an account, where the traders buy what they're told to do by their head of their bank. They buy it, and then they it sits in their account, and they get like a quarter percentage point or half a percentage point or something of that nature. They get a little slice, and life is good. And so it's a free money overnight, and it goes on for years. So it's overnight money for years in their account, and they're getting a quarter percent or half a percent, every month, or if it's a 30-day bond, or in this case here, we've seen. Let's just put it up on the screen here. We've seen. Right there. There is no cut going on, but what's happening? Look at that. Right there. Let's just go like that. But the bond, the 30-year bond has gone from the 118 area up to the 122 area. Okay, so interest rates are dropping. And so no one has fired a gun like it's a race. They're not like, the Federal Reserve has said, guess what? They're going to lower rates. No, they just keep their mouths shut. They lend money overnight. We see this. This is not conjecture. This is not fantasy. This is not speculation. This is truth. We see it. We can see how much money they lend overnight. We can see the overnight window. So we know that they're doing this. And, it's relatively admitted and no one talks about it. It's a simple way for them to lower rates without influencing the overall global situation. And so that's why they usually buy dollars. In this case here, if the interest rates are dropping, then there is let's see. And so what's happening is that it just goes on and on like that. And so the rates are being slowly lowered, but not officially lowered, because they just go in and buy the inventory. Makes sense to me, doesn't it? Makes sense to you? Seems pretty simple. Simple concept. And so that's what they're doing. And so we can see it in the bonds. right there on the screen there. We can see that, it's gone since the mid of February when things got ugly again. This is where interest rates are rising. That's what that is. When you see, let's see, use that mouse. So right there, you can see there, interest rates were rising because it was going down. What did they do? They stopped it. People were complaining. The government, even Mr. Biden talked about it last night, the idea that mortgages and the expense of the mortgages. Didn't get a chance to finish off my muffin. How about that? Helen Miriam got her own Barbie doll. Good for her. Helen Miriam Barbie doll. My goodness. So, that's what's going on, is that we're seeing a loosening of rates. We're seeing it in the dollar index. Let's go back to that dollar index. We're seeing it in the dollar index, and right there. And they don't have to officially tell us that they're lowering the rates. Now, in this particular webinar, in 35 minutes. In 35 minutes, they will start to release data. We will see it at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's 7:40 now. That's 50 minutes from now. But in 15 minutes earlier, at 8:15, they will be releasing that data to the press, and they're not allowed to release that. They're not allowed to release that data until 8:30. So that's the next big thing getting ready to kick out. All right. Let's take a look at what else. Let's go over to, let's put it up on the screen. We're going to go show you on the general platform. And we can't get J4X again. I'll have to talk to Giannis about that again. Where is it at? Dollar index. Right there. Right there. And you can see it's moving down. And let's see, where is it at? Right there. And then let's put it up on the screen here. And there it is. You can see that same situation. In other words, they're selling dollars because why? Interest rates are dropping. And the mechanics of it all. So that's the action we see there. That's what they're doing. And I can tell you, it's a fact. We know that for a fact that they do this. They lend money overnight to keep things calm. And they don't charge for it. And then it goes on for weeks and then months and now for years. Even Citadel gets over. There's a list. I've shown the list even, of the overnight carry trade of being having the money from the Federal Reserve and not being charged anything for it. Even Citadel, one of the biggest hedge funds in the world, gets $1 billion a night. So I'm sure that life is good when you can get $1 billion a night and collect interest off of it with no risk. That's exactly it. All right, where do we go from there? Let's jump over to the euro. Right there we are. Woo! There's Turkish lira playing with that 35 again. Right there. You can see it's been climbing up since the interest rates have, this is where the interest rates started to drop in the States, and what happens? You can see right there the currency pairs starts to go up in value. That's not that far-fetched. People kind of, think that there's some magic to this whole stuff, but it's more mechanics and money. And when I say money, how they make money from what they're doing, the mechanics of it. Let's see, there's the euro there. What else can we say about the euro? It's going to close in a weekly buy. We can probably get rid of that unless there's some massive insanity that kicks out this morning or tonight. Right there. So we're closing in the weekly buy. It's been through that line basically since there. Right there. As we said, there's a 99% chance when the green line gets through the top part of the manifold, it's going to close in a buy. It could be Monday. The odds are still the same. And you can see the same thing here on the daily. It joined in on Monday as this was starting to pierce through the zero line. And you can see there the euro just kept on finding ways to go higher. And let's take a look at the cable. There's the cable. What else can we say about that? There's the cable. If anybody wants to see intraday, let me know. We'll show you the intraday. And there's cable. Let's see, what else can we say about cable? Cable's doing the same thing. Where's the line at? Oh, I guess I could have sworn we put that line in there. Yeah, look at that. That was right there. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Okay. There it is right there. And we went into that buy on Monday, and I said the same exact thing as I'm saying today, and that is, when it's through there, when it's through there, it's going to, odds are going to close, it's going to close in a weekly buy. And that's pretty much the action we're seeing there. What a nice move, too. 126 up to 128. That's a very nice move. And then from there, we take a look at the Swiss. The Swiss, you can see right there, is working its way down. Interesting. Swiss is, they're doing their best to fight the inflation. So it's not going to be as, I would say it will not outperform like it has been for like the last 7 months, and over the last 2 months it's stopped outperforming. And we pointed that out, the outperformance of the Swiss against other pairs trades. And we can see that there. Let's see, what else can we say? It's been in that weekly buy since the 86 area. You can see the fast is trying to break down there, heading through the zero line. You can see the green line trying to touch the top of the manifold, but not that. It's being not that aggressive yet. Let's see how that goes. And that's all because of the interest rate factor there. Over here. And again, if anybody wants to see intraday, I will put it up there. Just put it in the chat line. Say intraday and whatever it is. Dollar index. Dollar yen index. I'm sorry, the currency pair itself. They've had a really nice move the last couple of days. Notice at the same time as we said that, let's just throw it up on J4X. Not J4X. Let's throw it up on the beta. There it is right there. And that's right there. Let's show you that. There it is right there. You can see the stock market over there, top down. No, that's not the top. That's the Nikkei. Wait a minute. Let's try that again. There's that. NKD. Now, why is that not updating? What's the malfunction there? Because I did see they've been selling the Nikkei down. Let's see if we can get some other things in there. There's that. There's gold. There's Swiss. There's the NQs. There's platinum. There is natural gas. Doesn't want to update. I'm not sure why we're not getting any Nikkei. Let's see what Hang Seng did. But what we're seeing is we're seeing pressure in the Asian side of things. Let's see, where's it at? Right there. There's Taiwan. Not Taiwan, I'm sorry. This is the, that is the, what is that? That's a Singapore. No, I'm sorry. You know what that is? That's the Nifty 50. That rose. Let's see what this did right there. That's the, there's the All Ordinaries Index right there. And I saw it. Let me see if I can find it on here. I saw it. Let me just go over to here real quick. Because I've seen the Nikkei dropping. Let's see if we can find it here. I'm not sure why the Nikkei didn't want to show itself this morning, but we'll go find it in another market. Let's see. World indices. I'll just put the Nikkei up there. There it is. Let's make it a bar chart. I'm not sure why it's doing that cloud thing. Go candle. Okay, there it is. That's not looking smart. Let's try 3 months. Yeah, see, it's backed off the last couple days. And, okay, they did show a little bounce off of that. Yeah, it had dropped down to 39,500. Let's see if we can put the bars in there. I don't want a line, I want a bar. Candle. There we are. And so with the currency gaining against the dollar, notice that we're seeing the stock market itself trying to slope down the last 4 days. And that is how it works, because again they were adjusting it for inflation. And you see there's the 4 days of it dropping down, gaining. This is gaining against the dollar. And when it's, when it's doing that, and that means the inflation is dropping, the stock market starts to drop at the same time. Stock market's a very interesting tool, very successful tool against inflation. So it's something to think about. Let's put it that way. And usually it's the place to park, and that's why our stock markets are so high. And when the inflation starts to drop, it should go sideways to down for a little bit, and then the earnings themselves will be more of a power that makes it go up or down. So basically, inflation, even in look at the yen, and then the yen goes from like 105 to 152. At the same time, the stock market goes from 34,000 to 40,000. Okay, and goes to an all-time high, and it goes to up into 39,000 and change. It becomes a 35-year high. Okay, it took 35 years for it to get back into an all-time high. And so that's a perfect example of how inflation affects equities. And the reason why, and I've mentioned this before, is that companies can raise their prices. There's a lot of companies that people need the product. And so they will find ways of buying it and not buy other things. And that's why you have a very narrow, in other words, there's very few companies doing very well. And so, they talk about the Magnificent Seven or something like that. You've got 5,000 stocks out there, 5,000 different companies, or 4,000 different companies, but you have 7 of them moving the whole market. That's the amazing part. So, and that is the name of that game. And then let's see, did the Nikkei ever reload? Let's see. Just want to see if the Nikkei reloaded so you can see where our math is at in it at the same time. It must be, you know what it is? It's the I can tell you what it is and I can add it. What is happening is yesterday is the big switch. There we go. Hey, how you doing? Was it an AG? How you doing? Apple did not participate recently in the surge. It has not. It's dropped over 20 points, or about 10%. Some say, what would be the index move if Apple starts moving? True. Also, the J4X died again on me. It's giving me that 801. So I'm going to I tried re-signing up again, and then ran out of time. Wrestled with it for about 10 minutes. And I'm going to re-sign up again like it's a 14-day thing, and see how long it lasts, or is it an IP thing that you talked about, Janos? It's one or the other at this point. So, but yeah, we can show you Apple right here. Apple's been on a glide path down, because of the. I suggest sending an email. Okay, I'll do that. I'll send I'll send that to support. I'll do that. Let's see. Where's Apple? There's the Apple. And as you can see on the screen right there. There we are. You see Apple's been in a glide, with I guess all-time highs 200. Let me go look at put it up on the other screen too. See if we can figure out what their all-time high is. Let's just close that. Close workspace. Yes. Open workspace. Yes. There we are. All right, here is Apple. No, that's Tesla. There's Apple right there. Oop. Hmm. Hmm. Well, let's see if we can find Apple on another thing. But I thought it broke the $200 area. Now on our beta, it only goes back a couple months. It goes back to what's that? The beginning of January, and here we are in March. So it goes back about 10, 11 weeks. Let's see if it's updating here a little bit. All right. Anyway, you can see Apple's been on a long slope down. Let's just go back over to where you can see it. Let's see, where's that at? Right there. So you see, it's been marching down. We went into the weekly sell somewhere around in the beginning of February. Right here. We went to the weekly sell here at right there on this week right there. That week did it. And we've gone from the 85 area down to the 60, 69 area, I guess you could say. And the pressure, you can see we've been in daily sells for a long while, just a long sell. So it's it's been giving us I think it's a combination. They keep on losing money in China, and so between losing money in China and then they had a lawsuit they had to resolve. And there was like a couple $1 billion. They have like $180 billion in cash. Why a $3 or $4 or $5 billion bill messes with it? It does. But we're seeing that weakness that's been going on now for a while. Now I'm not sure why we're not getting all of them, but the Tesla. All right, we're going to close that and start over again. Let's see. So yeah, Janos, that's what's going on with Apple. And would Apple carry the market? Only if they were making it from China. In other words, if they were showing great earnings from China, that would lift the whole market. Remember, the market is very hyped on the China market. They feel that, they keep on expecting, China to carry the global market. They think it's going to be the second powerful economy in the world when, in fact, you live in the second most powerful economy in the world, the European Union. So that is the only way the only way that Apple could lift would be if they earned from China or they came out with a whole new product. Now they do have a new product right now. It's the goggles where you get a 3D experience and so forth and so on. But I understand it's like $800 or $900. It's a little hard for people. The telephone companies are not going to buy it and give it to you, and so people have to buy it. So it makes it a whole different thing than telephones, where you buy an Apple telephone, the telephone company finances it, and you pay for it on a monthly basis. So that's I guess you could say that is the problem, is that we're not seeing, anything positive. And the only way it could lift is if China showed that it was growing, and we've seen what's going on there.
Market data connection
Let's
lost.
just show you the Chinese market. And the reason why we're not seeing the Nikkei is because it's the switch. Yesterday was switch. So in other words, that contract is not being traded anymore. I have to take that out of the system. And I want to delay things. So that's no problem there. And then you go over to, where is it at? The Hang Seng. You know, you can see the Hang Seng right there. The Hang Seng is basically just cruising. It had, you know, it's, you can see that's where it was January. And you can see we're there now. It went a little above it and fell back down again of it. You can see the Hong Kong is much lower. Now, what's interesting is that, you know, obviously, you know, Nikkei, everybody else is much higher. And you can see even the Kospi right there, the South Korean index, has climbed up and is holding up very firm. And then, what else can we say? And then, oh, now we've thrown some more Asian ones in there. We can throw that in there too. Let's see, what else? But I usually go to that after we get done gold and silver and energies and so forth. But since we're talking about it, and you're talking about Apple, I like to stay focused in on no use. Something is wrong. Okay. Oh, there's a, some say, what would be the index move if Apple starts moving? That's right. That's what I'm talking about now. Yeah, well, the answer to all of it in the end result is that growth. Remember, the only way to get out of these things, that's why, you know, I'm so pro, you know, supportive of capitalism, is that for 300 years now that we have it running, it does a really good job of growing the world economy. And you can see that by the strength of the United States. And when you try to do socialism and so forth, it just seems to eliminate growth. You don't really get growth out of, I always like to say it's more like you get stasis. In other words, you go to sleep, and then you wake up and you die. And that seems to be the socialist communist situation, is that every day is the same day, and you get a chance to read books and sit around doing nothing, and then one day you think to yourself, geez, what if I had only done this, that, and the other thing? And it's like, no, you're happy. You're sitting still. You can read books and watch TV and go sailing, and that's good enough. And you get food in your belly, or the food that everybody wants to feed you, because you don't get a choice really. And so that's the problem, is that you never get a choice, and that's a real powerful thing. And then when you get what Ronald Reagan used to call it, and I think Adam Smith even called it, no, I'm not sure if Adam Smith called it that, but it was creative destruction. What happens is that you grow. One corporation fails, another one, you know, rolls over. You know, that's the way it works. And so when you don't have that, you don't get growth. And if you don't get growth, you don't get Apple phones, and you don't get modern computers, and you don't get innovations. You don't get modern medicine. You don't get any of that stuff. Instead, you just get a simple, solid life, and there's no growth. And see, that's the problem, is that you need growth. That's what we're looking at. And right now, Apple is not growing because they've invested very heavily into China, and China's not growing. And so the United States is just still functioning on a fair value. You know, in other words, it's just moving along fairly well, not growing. The biggest side of America growing right now is not the private sector, which it should be. And that's what our numbers are going to show. They say, matter of fact, today they say that Wall Street already has a spin set up for the bad numbers today. And that's what it comes down to. They have they think that it's not going to look too good, and the Federal Reserve and so forth will have a spin that will make it sound a-okay, and that's pretty much the name of the game there. Now, what we're looking at there up on the screen is what is that? That is that's the intraday. Let's see if we can get the stocks again up in there. Let's see if we can open it. Let's see, right there. There we go. And there's Apple. There it is. Yeah, see, we went up and touched the $200 area, I think, right there. Can we? There's the high. Oh, can you see? You can't see. Let's show you. There is Apple. And so right there, the high was 199.62. I don't think it broke 200, did it? No, it didn't break 200. So it got the 200 installed. And is that it right there? I think that's it right there. There's 190. That's 188. There it is right there. That's 199.62. So, it didn't go into the weekly sell until here. And then it bounced back up after 1 week. Got that hump out of it. And then went back into the weekly sell here. Let's see. Daily sell there. Let's put that in there. And then, as usual, the markets go up and down, and our math always picks up on that concept that it's going up and down, up and down. There we are. And he's been in that sell since the 185, 86 area, and now we're trading in the 169 area. You can see right there. So yeah, without that growth. And like I said, they're heavily invested where the growth is not, and that makes it very hard. It does. It makes it very hard for growth to occur. Let's see. So from there, all right. So and that was the Apple. Now we got about another 8.5 minutes before that the news comes out about the unemployment number, and we'll see if there's a little herk and jerk with the stock market. But they don't release the full number until until 24 minutes from now. So there's a 15-minute early release just to the newspapers, and supposedly they're not allowed to tell anybody. All right. Now from there. Let's see, let me do this. There we are. Copy. What else can we say? I guess that's about it there. So from there, let's go back to the rest of the currencies. Does anybody want to see anything particular? If not, we can drift away from that. We'll just do a quick look at the, where is it at? Right there. There it is. There we go. There is the Turkish lira, which is still climbing. We'll just leave it at that. It's been in a weekly buy for half a year. We'll go over to the South African rand now to go look at metals. You can see it's been it's doing what it's supposed to do, and that is it gains against the dollar. When it's going down, it's gaining against the dollar. And it's been gaining against the dollar since the action we've been seeing. The metals have taken off, and let's just show you that too at the same time. Gold, 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 gold. There it is. And there it is right there. You can see it on the beta. Gold has been roaring along for the last, did it go in there? On the beta, it was just for 3 weeks now. It's in a weekly buy. It just keeps on climbing, and it keeps on climbing up, and away. It's been in a daily buy, basically from right here, right there. Yeah, I heard somebody, it was a Jim Muriel. Remember that, Robin? Remember Jim on the floor? He's on TV every so often, and Jim was saying that there's becoming a lack of confidence that's why the cryptos are taking off. That's why gold is taking off. is because they're concerned about what they're going to do to the dollar. They think that they're going to inflate again, and that will hurt on some aspect. But at the same time, they're going to put out more inventory and cut interest rates at the same time. So it's like, it's like you're moving at 100 miles an hour, and all of a sudden you come to a stop sign. And so that's Jim Oreo is saying stuff like that right now. He's thinking that that's what's going to happen. And that's why we're seeing the strength in the cryptos. We're seeing the strength in, was it the metals? Even silver is fighting its way to the $25 area, which is kind of impressive in its own right. There's silver. It's getting very close to the $25 area. It's almost 50%. It's just only almost 50% now off its all-time high. It makes no sense, but that's the way it rolls nowadays. And that's exactly what we're saying, All right. Let's check the chat line again. And there's the chat line. Whoop, what's that? There we go. So yeah, Jim Oreo is saying that, and it makes sense too. They know something. Look, a lot of money is. Look, they're buying bonds. They're parking themselves in bonds at 4.25%, 4.5%, 5% areas. They're buying government bonds, and they're not exactly. The stock market is at all-time highs. There's no doubt about that. It's very firm. You can see here the U.S. stock market, the S&P 500, which is S&P 500 is really the global stock market. This is the daily chart, and you can see that we're a bit. Oh no, that's the euro. Let's go find it here. There it is, right there. There it is, right there, just hanging out at the all-time high. And the front month, the back month, the switch was yesterday. So the back month, we'll put that out. We'll start showing that on Monday. But the March, let's see if we can do this. We'll make a copy of this. Let's see, copy window. We'll paste the window. There it is. Now we're going to do this. We're going to we're going to go back up to here. And we're going to go put in the June contract and show you what's going on there, because that is now the front contract. That started yesterday as the front month contract. Let's see, right there. There we go. There we go. Yes. Where do you see the premium in that? Again, that's the basically the carry, the cost, and the dividend, and that is literally right around the corner. Let's see, where's it at? June. Yes, we want M4 right there. There it is. Add. Okay. Might as well do this. I'm not going to worry about it. I'll do it over the weekend. There we are. And let's put that in there. And where do you see it's at 230 something. I'm sorry, 5230 something. It's way up there. Because it has the dividends in there, the interest, and all that stuff. There we go. And you see it's trading at 5,217, whereas the contract we've been watching now for the last 3 months is trading at 5,155. So what's that? 55. That's a 70 point premium in it. 70 points, yeah. Right there, and that is the front month now. You can see here it's trying to get into the daily buy. Now see the back month went to the sell. Was it right there? Yeah. No, it didn't even do it there. It did not do it there. Okay, so it's still in the buy. So the new front month has been in a buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days now. Remember? Oh no, it did go into sell right there. It did go into the sell right there. And then now it's flirting with the buy again right there. And let's see, let's move this up a little bit more like so, and then we'll show you the weekly. The weekly's been in a buy with no problem for months upon months upon months. That went into a buy back in November. See that right there, November. Actually, the last week of October. So there's a lot of, the stock market has been dealing with the inflation. It's been dealing with the potential change of economic policy. It has a lot of moving parts. All right, nobody's saying anything particular now. Okay, and within the next minute, we're going to start seeing action in it. Let's see, we should see action in it. Let's go into the intraday and just take a peek at what they do to it. That is gold. There it is, the front. Let's make a copy of that. Copy, copy, copy. Copy. And then paste. And we'll put the front month in. There we go. Let's see. Now the arbitrageurs, we'll have to keep them in line either way. So here the news is out. They know now what the number's going to be in 14 and a half minutes. And it's just sitting there quiet at the moment. You see that? Right there. Just mild ticking there. Let's see. There it is right there. Now they're buying that. The front month is being picked up much more aggressively. Let's do this. We'll put that into, let's see. There it is. Go like this. There we are. And as you can see right there, you can see there, the one on the right is the front month. The one on the left is going to expire next Friday morning to be exact. And you can see how much more orderly it is too, right there. And so they're firming it up. We'll see if they're trying to take it up to take it down or what. It's like always with this market. Insiders always making moves. All right. So from there, let's see, what else is it? What else can we say? They're all lifting up, so it tells you one thing. It's going up. And we're in a buy right there. We went into the buy right there. So we're 4 bars into it at this point. Let's see how that goes. All right, now from there, we jump over to, let's see, let's go look more at the metals complex. And right there is, we've seen what gold looks like. Obviously, it's going up, up, and away. And on our beta, we've been in about 3 weeks, but in the old platform, we're just 2 weeks into it. And then from there is the silver. Silver is like 5 weeks now. And we're at 24.67. This is the front month. And then we take a look at, even copper is starting to lift up. You can see that it popped it yesterday, and the day before it was very firm, but we were red and green. But then, went into the buy, and it's trying to climb again today. Been in a weekly buy for, 4 weeks. And then the platinum. Platinum is, firm, steady, but not explosive. Just kind of hanging tight there. Let's see if we can fix that. 'Cause I think it had a better day yesterday. Settings. Oh, you can't see what we're looking at. There it is. Let's go back and do those again. Okay, so there is yesterday, and then we go like this with 24-hour. Backing off a little bit, that's all. Nothing major. And so again, there is the gold. There is the silver. And there is the copper. All right, now we'll zip over. And we did look at South African Rand. You can see how it curved down. Just, in other words, it's gaining against the dollar. Well, we'll slide over to the crude oil. There is crude right there. That's the April contract. You can see it's trying to dip down. But at the same time, we got a red. Do we have a red and green or just a red? We just have a red. And it's above the zero line. Yesterday, we tried to do it again. It's above the zero line. And we're not getting any real lift out of it. And it's still in that sell from, I guess, right there. It's going more up than down. At the same time, we're in a weekly buy, so you wouldn't take the short to begin with. So it's kind of like that situation where we're stuck in neutral. It's telling you to just stand to the side. I'm sure what is it doing? It's going sideways. Now, obviously, depending on what kind of trader you are, you know what to do with that. That's basically what it comes down to. And then from there, we go to, let's do this. We'll put, till we get back our J4X again, let's put up North Sea. There's North Sea. There's Brent. Brent kind of zips in and out. It went into the sell 2 days ago. It's battling with it today. And you can see that it's still in a weekly buy for 2 weeks. And it's sideways. It's as much as all that noise that's going on in different parts of the world and things blowing up and people knocking ships down and so forth, it doesn't seem to be that scared. It just hangs out in the the low end, I was going to say high 70s, low 80s. That's pretty much where it's at. Mid 80s. All right, and then from there, we go over to natural gas, which took a nice dip yesterday. There's the natural gas again, pushing down. And you can see that pressure is on it there. Let's see, what else is there? Let's do this. Put it up on there. And there's the natural gas there. You see that pressure on it there. And, as like we said, you can see this, the crude oil and the North Sea is just kind of sideways. It's drifting up, but it just seems to be sideways. I think that's the best way to describe it. It's sideways, going nowhere. It does not have a lot of oomph. Oh, let's try that. There we go. So without that action, we're not really seeing anything more dynamic than the fact that the energy sector is basically, quiet and steady. I guess that's the best way to describe it. Quiet and steady. All right. Let's take a look at the Spanish company down in Spain. Obviously, Spanish company. It's an energy company. And you can see here it's flirting with, let's show it to you. It's come from the $27 area down to the $20 area, and it's been hanging out then in the low 20s. Looks like it's trying to lift up. It's still not doing it. It's been in a weekly sell for 10 weeks now. Come down from the 27 and change. That kind of represents to us, we can follow the European nature of what the price is of natural gas and so forth. That really helps out a lot. All right. From there, let's see. What do we have? Oh, we were looking at some of the. We'll have to change the Nikkei, but let's go over to the European markets and just show you what our math is showing us there. Let's look at the DAX. There's DAX. See, DAX is a little off today. Nothing major. You can see it's pumping up. It's been in that weekly buy for 9 weeks. So it's just been one slow, steady grind up. We look at the CAC 40 right there, the French market. Same thing at another high, over 8,000. Same thing. It's been in the daily buy for 3 days, and you can see 9 weeks when it comes to the weekly buy since the, I guess you could say, the 7,400 area. And then we go take a look at the FTSE. FTSE's going on a second day of a buy. Might be flirting with a sell, you can't tell. And it's been stuck in that 77 topping area there. And we've been in a weekly buy for 5 weeks at this point, since the beginning of February, right in here, end of January. So, I mean, it went up, it broke down, went back up and made another high. Again, the world may be anticipating that we're going to see a change in economic policies in the United States, which will make it become much more healthy for the whole world. There's the old expression we used to say decades ago in Wall Street, and that is, when America sneezes, achoo, the world catches a cold. And so when America gets strong, the world actually feels better. And so that's usually a good thing there. All right, traders, we're going to get out of here. And I'm going to send my thing over to Dukascopy support and see what we can figure out about that charting thing there. All right, this is Doc from North America. Everybody have a safe and smart weekend. And I'll give you a minute. If anybody wants to see anything, I'll throw it up there. But I'll wait a whole minute, and I'll just mumble about what I'm going to use as a title. And I got to figure out what the title will be. And that's pretty much the name of the game at the moment, is what is the title going to be. So, as I talk about what the title's going to be, if anybody wants to see anything, just shout it out on the chat line. And if not, then we'll be out of here as soon as I get my title done. This way it gives anybody a chance to go, oh, I want to take a look at this, or I want to look at that, that type of thing. There we are. Alrighty. So, happy trails to you until we meet again, which will be Monday. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends, and webinar friends. Later, traders. Have a smart and safe weekend. Ta-ta for now.